Hi, I'm Allison from East Tennessee. I'm a homestead homie, and you're watching Off Grid with Doug and Stacy.
Man, did you guys love that old station wagon entrance or what?
Totally cool.
You guys are pretty creative. Yeah, so today's just like homestead stories. Every once in a while we drop off these videos. Sometimes we'll talk about stories that we had, you know, in our first couple years. Here's a video right here in case you want to check that out. We did a video like 5 years of us being on the homestead, some of the stories that we had. They were kind of funny. And today we're just sharing some of the stories that actually just happened today.
It did. The first day of spring today is.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were gone.
Yeah, I went to North Carolina to visit my son, and I helped with some floors and, you know, do some stuff like that.
It was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, so when I leave like that, Stacy usually tries to work with the Amish, you know, plan a little town trip where they all go together and the Amish get all their, you know, stuff that they buy at the stores and they stock up really good. And so she did that while I was gone.
So we went on the big trip, you know, the girls, we all got in the truck, we packed it up, and I have to make sure everything's out of the truck because I know I'm going to load it up. So we went shopping and we filled up the whole back end, the whole
inside,
front and back seat of the truck, everything was filled up. So when we got there, it was the end of the day, it was starting to get dark, you know, I had to get home and do my chores. So accidentally they had taken one of my bags, and in that bag I had gone to the resale shop and I had got a couple things. One of them was a really nice shower curtain, you know, the cloth ones that are waterproof on the side, because what I'm going to do with it, and this is a side note and then I'll come back to my story, is I'm going to cut it to fit my wood burning cook stove and use it as a cover for the summer months, because I use it as counter space.
That's a hot tip, right? So if you guys are cooking with a wood cook stove, you'll want to cover it. We've used newspapers, bamboo, like placemats, just a bunch of different things.
Towels, everything, you know, different things. I've tried different things and it really didn't work as well, so I thought I'm going to make something fit to order.
Because it gets humid here and, you know, it gets a little rusty and, you know, just you're trying to cut down on as much maintenance as you can.
Right.
So she got this shower curtain thing that she was going to make a cover out of.
Okay, so that was that, and then I had left it there and I'm like, oh darn, because I wanted to kind of get it ready. And the other thing was in it, I had found a brand new nice cotton shirt at the resale shop that I was going to give to our son. And which I really liked. It was really neat.
Yeah, she was talking it up.
Yeah, I kept saying, oh, you're going to wait till you see the shirt. So I went over there today to go pick up my stuff and then to get some milk, because I barter with them. You know, if I give them rides and stuff, they keep me hooked up in milk and all that. So I go over there, and the daughter who had gone with us was out there, and she was cleaning up some of the horse manure where they hang up the horses. And
she's really friendly with Stacy. Normally she's right over there talking with her, and she loves chatting with her.
So I go over there and I start talking to her, and she's like, hey, you know, and we start talking, and I said, I forgot my bag. And
no,
she's like,
you said you took my bag on accident.
Yeah. And she goes, you know, and then she just kind of changed subject a little bit, which was really weird. So when I was over there, I just started talking about other things, and I saw her mom come out. And I started talking to her. We're talking about what's going on and the different things, and, you know, their greenhouse and everything's growing. And then she kind of says, I have something I have to tell you, and you're going to be so upset with me and with us. I really have to tell you this. And she just kept saying that, and I thought, what is going on? Because they've never talked to me like that, you know. You're just going to be very upset about this. And I'm like, what? She says, well, you know how you left the bag here? And I said, yes. And she said that her husband had found the bag, opened it to look inside because it was still sitting there. They had put everything else away, and saw that there was this shirt in there.
An English shirt.
And it had, you know, there were stripes on it. And, you know, they use all, you know, plain clothes.
Yeah.
So what he had done was, in their greenhouse, they have a wood burning stove. So he had taken it to the greenhouse stove and he burned it.
Before he even asked like whose it was or what was going on.
Because he thought that their daughter, who is getting ready to get married, had gotten it for her significant other.
Like
at the
sneaky
time.
Stuff.
Yeah, that she was getting it for him. And then he went to confront the daughter, and they all told him whose it was, that it was mine. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. So now he feels so bad. And I left and I called him. I said, I couldn't believe it. This story is going to go for miles. It was totally worth him burning the shirt up, because that is just really funny.
We'll leave a video right here of the last talk we kind of did like this, 5 years on the homestead. And in that we talk about another story that was like circulating around with the Amish. And it's just so funny sometimes, the stories and the things that happen. So that right there, when she told me that, I mean, it was like bust a gut laugh and stuff, because I mean, I totally know, I can relate what he did, and I know how it is, and you know.
And you know, you guys that have teenage, daughters, dads, right? How you would have protective, you're very protective of your girls.
That is so funny.
And then the other cute thing is it's really neat to see, the young children, how they like ride on their horses. So
yeah,
one of the young boys, he's almost 6.
Yeah.
And he has a pony, and he saddles it up and he rides it. But the influence your older brothers and sisters have on you is amazing.
If you're driving by the Amish, if they're on their buggies, or if they're riding on a horse, or even walking most of the time, they'll just kind of go, that's like the sign. That means how you doing, And so
the young boys, the cool boys, they will be wearing the coolest sunglasses. Yeah. So it's just kind of cool. So you'll see the young guys, especially, after church and things, they'll have their shirts unbuttoned, and they'll be walking around with their sunglasses, and they're looking cool. And I was leaving, their house.
Well, first he showed you while you were there.
Yeah, he showed me first, he's doing his thing. And
he got on his pony.
And he's riding around, showing me that, he's riding his horse. And so when I was leaving, he had his sunglasses on, and he's galloping with his little pony. And he gives me that with his sunglasses, and it was so cute. Yeah.
And then she had talked to her too about doing slips, potato slips. We'll leave that video
to remember
right
to do them, because she hadn't done them the past few years.
Yeah, she always bought them and stuff. She was like, oh yeah, I always forget to do them. So Stacy's like, oh, it's so easy, and she told her how to do it. And then Stacy noticed that she had done it already. She had like a whole window seal of sweet potato slips ready to go. And it was like, wow, cool. And she came back and told me and stuff. But this time when she went over there today, she actually looked at it, and all the potatoes were upside down.
And they were all rooting, and then actually the slips were going in the water too. And she says, because she couldn't understand why the slips weren't coming out of the top. So some of you guys that are possibly wanting to do them, or doing them, and maybe something's not happening, make sure the fat end's at the bottom,
right,
and then the pointy end's at the top.
And be patient, because sometimes it'll take 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It could take a little bit of time.
It depends if it's cooler, in your house.
And there are such things as like a bad potato, right? So it's just like been sprayed, or if it's organic, sometimes they just don't work. You'll just grab another one and start. That's why it's good to have like 3 or 4 of them going, depending on how many slips you want, so you can have maximum advantage.
Yeah, but for her potatoes were so big, she couldn't find a jar to fit in them. So that's why she flipped them the other way. But needless to say, we're going to have to try to flip them the other way.
And then they have this, somebody dropped off a little baby ram.
A Katahdin, a Katahdin lamb.
Yeah, because they had to bottle feed it. And some people don't want to bottle feed their rams. Or their ewes or whatever. This is kind of a hassle. You got to do it. You have to be really dedicated. And so they dropped it off there, and they started bottle feeding it. But Stacy was telling her,
yeah, you got to watch out for those rams, and because he'll come up to you. He's like a dog. You go over there, and he's like, oh, and he'll start sucking on your finger. And he's getting really, really big now. And now, he's eating the grass and, the hay, and they got a little girl, and so now she's getting concerned about it. So they're going to pen him up. So that's the one thing. If you're going to keep a lamb or a goat as a pet, a male, you don't want to bottle feed it. If you don't, or don't keep it as a pet if you're going to bottle feed it.
If you bottle feed it, just keep it pinned up, because they will wreak havoc. They can knock your kids down. They'll butt you because they're very comfortable with you. Yeah. We try to keep our sheep are kind of comfortable with us, but they'll scatter, because we don't want to have too close of a relationship, because then that takes away from their like predator awareness. So we try to maintain a good relationship with them, but not too cozy to where they're like counting on you to come up to them and stuff, because that could put their life in jeopardy. If you're not around, they'll get too comfortable, and then they won't have that fight or flight mentality, and that could really cause them a problem. But this one was sticking his head in the...
Yeah, because it's such a warm day today, because it's going to get way down tomorrow, but it's like 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
I'm barefooted. So I'm over there, and she's got the sides rolled up on the greenhouse, And all of a sudden I look over and that little stinker was in the greenhouse eating all their broccoli. You know, they were pretty big, their broccoli and their cauliflower. So we had to, needless to say, get it out of there. She's got to pen it up right now.
Yeah.
So be careful with those little baby rams.
So that's about it. I broke out my straw hat. Whenever you see that, that means we're rolling into spring and summer. Yeah, and fall. I wear my dark hat during the late fall and all through the winter. And the greenhouse is coming along. There's going to be a video coming up about the greenhouse. And somebody had mentioned that they didn't think the greenhouse looked too sturdy even after I put the, you know, the little shed area on the side. But I forgot to mention too, if you're watching, that after I tie in the doors, it's gonna be rock solid. It won't move at all. And I forgot to mention that to you. Yeah, so that'll be done here in a minute, and then we'll start getting some stuff out there. I think, you know, mostly for this year we'll start some seeds in it, but we'll be using it for like a tomato hothouse, you know, because the tomatoes really like the hot weather. So we'll have some in the back to Eden style garden. Are you going to put any in the raised beds?
I don't know. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, so maybe not on the
Probably
raised beds.
Some.
So we'd like to just kind of show you like a hothouse type of thing. That's what they call them.
Here we can talk about what I did with the onions.
Oh yeah, we planted the onions.
So I planted the onions earlier than I've ever planted them, ever, because I would like to get the biggest onions. And things happen, and we just never plant them early enough. So I planted them early enough, and I tried two kinds. I did the actual bulb, and then also the little plants. Right. So I did the plants in the red onions, and then the yellow onions are the bulbs. And
Two things about that is, in our area, rule of thumb is St. Patrick's Day, you want to have all your root crops basically could get in. Your potatoes, your onions, carrots, you know, stuff like that, all your root crops. But normally we miss that mark a little bit. This year we didn't film it for you guys. We got to get better at that. Because we were watching the moon signs, and the moon signs were good for a particular day here just a couple days ago, and so we just hopped out there and we got them put in. But one tip Stacy's going to give you right now
is make sure you don't plant them too deep.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you just want enough of it so, like, you know, it's just barely covered. The roots need to take hold, because you want to see it. You know, I know a lot of the big growers and stuff, you can see most of the onion out of the ground. So that's what I'm going to try. So I'll have to keep you updated and let you know how my onions did, because I got them in earlier than ever. They got watered, and so
you guys will see them as we're going to cut more videos and actually do more garden stuff. But for some reason it was like the moon signs were right, and we hopped on it, and I was like, oh my gosh, we just did that and didn't show anybody.
Right, it was quick. It was quick. And then what I did something different in the garden box is I planted all my onions on the outside.
Right. Because onions are pretty good companion plants.
For a lot of different things that I'm going to plant in the garden boxes. So all my onions are all on the outside, and then I'm going to put everything else on the inside this year. So
yes.
I'll try that.
So onions are a little different, because like potatoes, you know that you don't want the sun to get on them. So if you see them coming up, you want to keep them covered, keep them covered, keep them covered. Onions are the exact opposite. I mean, you want to pull the dirt away, and you want them to just come out and just be free on top of the soil, just as long as that they have a good root system going down.
Yep.
Cool. So that's catching you guys up, sharing a few stories. We got more videos coming out. Again, we're going to be talking about the greenhouse a lot more, and then I got to do some more garden area stuff, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys. We got some more healthy videos coming up. We have a video coming up, and we're going to talk about two things that could literally like change your life. And I know for some of you guys it's hard, but if you actually implement this stuff, I mean, this could drastically change.
And it's something that really doesn't cost any money.
It's free. It's free. Yeah. It's free. Yeah. We're going to give you two things that could change your life, and they're free. Free.
Yep.
What is it?
I'm not going to tell you what it is yet. You have to wait for the video.
It's free.
Free. It's free, yeah.
What is it?
Free.
There you go. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Make sure you check out the couple videos we linked in the cards above. Maybe go back, check out some of our old videos. You know, the people that go back and watch old videos and leave comments, you know, that sticks on our mind when me and Stacy make the decision for
Homestead of the Homie Month. Homestead Homie, I always say that. Homestead Homie of the Month. Homestead
Homie of the Month. We give away it's a layman's exclusive. In case you're new to our channel, it's a cast iron, Lodge cast iron skillet that they've made into a clock. It's all made in America. And we give out one of those every month for the 2017, and it's just our way of saying thank you guys for participating in our channel, for being Homestead Homies, for sharing our videos, for leaving comments, for interacting, and for, you know, just being part of the team.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus we have another giveaway going on, but we're not going to say anything about it, so you might want to go watch the last couple videos. Maybe you'll find something in there about another giveaway.
Yeah.
Because that's over on the 30th. 31st.
31st, March 31st.
All right, that's good. Anything else?
That's it. Just check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And we'll see you guys on the next one.
See ya. Hey guys, thanks for watching our video. You might want to check out these videos.
And if you want to become a homestead homie, click the picture of us below.
We will see you tomorrow.